From the much-awaited approval on the IMF's second tranche to peaking tourist arrivals, we bring you the latest economic updates for the month of December 2023. Hi, I'm Netmi Fernando and welcome back to the First Capital Monthly Economic Watch. The IMF Executive Board completed the first review under the 48-month Extended Fund Facility with Sri Lanka on the 12th of December 2023, providing access to SDR 254 million to support the country's economic policies and reforms. The board disclosed that Sri Lanka's performance under the program was satisfactory. However, all but one performance criteria and all but one indicative target were met by end of June 2023. The authorities have made commendable progress towards restoring debt sustainability, raising revenue, reducing inflation, and safeguarding financial stability. The IMF support program is determined to further support the country with macroeconomic and financial stability whilst enhancing growth-oriented structural reforms. Moving on to the government securities side, the secondary market took a mixed sentiment during the month, resulted by the approval of the IMF's second tranche followed by the holiday season. The IMF's second tranche boosted buying appetite, whilst short to mid-tenors including 2025, 6 and 7 maturities enticed trades largely over the month. However, towards the latter part of the month, the market pivoted into a dull sentiment due to the holiday season. Meanwhile, the weighted average yield rates at the weekly Treasury bill auctions continued to see a modest downward trend throughout the month. In line with the declining trend of interest rate movements, finance sector rates reflected the same, where AWPR decreased below 14% and recorded at 12.39% towards the end of December, while interest rate spread decreased to 0.7%. Moreover, private sector credit increased by LKR 37.9 billion in October compared to September 2023 amidst the declining interest rates. Meanwhile, state credit significantly declined by LKR 83.5 billion relative to the previous month. On a year-on-year basis, private credit recorded a decrease of 4.3%, and a month-on-month basis, it is an increase of 0.5%. If we look at the inflation for the month of December, month-on-month inflation marginally increased by 0.9%, while the year-on-year inflation increased to 4% in December 2023. Year-on-year inflation of food group increased to 0.3% in December 2023, while non-food group decreased to 5.8% in December from 6.8% in November 2023. Analyzing the month-on-month inflation, the CCPI index increased by 0.9% month-on-month, contributed by the increase in expenditure of food items by 1.16% and a decrease in expenditure of non-food items by 0.27%. Within the food items, increase in value changes were mainly reported for vegetables, fresh fish, green chilies, big onions, and eggs. Among non-food groups, decrease in value changes were mainly reported in transport, clothing and footwear, and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels. Looking at the NCPI for November 2023, NCPI increased to 2.8% year-on-year in November compared to 1% in October 2023. Foreign reserves significantly increased by USD 829 million to USD 4.4 billion in December 2023, mainly due to the loans from multilateral lenders. Meanwhile, market liquidity fluctuated and broadly remained in the negative territory during the month of December 2023. In terms of government securities, there were 828.1 billion worth of maturities during December 2023 and new issues through auctions worth of 1,040.8 billion, creating an excess of 212.7 billion. CBSL holdings declined by 35 billion in December and ended the month above 2,700 billion. Moving on to the external sector performance, trade deficit mounted to $390 million in November 2023 compared to a deficit of $450 million recorded in November 2022. In terms of exports, earnings from exports inclined by 0.4% in November 2023 to $999 million. The decline in earnings from industrial exports were mainly due to the decline in earnings from garment exports to most of the major markets. However, earnings from petroleum, food, beverage and tobacco, and transport equipment increased during November 2023. Furthermore, earnings from agricultural goods improved, mainly led by tea, coconut-related products and spices. Earnings from mineral exports also displayed an increase. In terms of imports, import expenditure decreased by 3.9% year-on-year to $1,388.7 million in November 2023, mainly due to the decline observed in intermediate goods resulted from lower expenditure on fuel imports. However, an increase was recorded in imports of investment and consumer goods influenced by the relaxation of import restrictions. Worker remittances too continued to expand to $537 million in November 2023. Earnings from tourism for November 2023 increased to $205 million from $81 million in November 2022. Accordingly, balance of payment for Jan to November 2023 was recorded at $1,908 million compared to Jan to October 2023, which amounted to $1,965 million, resulting in a net outflow of $57 million for the month of November 2023. In terms of tourist arrivals, the total arrivals for the month was recorded at 210,352, displaying an increase of 128.7% year-on-year compared to December 2022, and recorded the highest number of arrivals for 2023. Commencement of the peak season, improved air connectivity, favorable local conditions, geographical proximity, and geopolitical consideration were the main contributors to this development. Accordingly, key source markets during December 2023 is topped by India, Russian Federation, the United Kingdom, and Germany. In terms of currency movement, although LKR depreciated against USD on a month-on-month basis and stood at LKR 323.9 towards the month end, while on a year-to-date basis, LKR strengthened against most of the major currencies, including Japanese yen, Chinese renminbi, and the Indian rupee. Finally, moving on to the global market, a positive sentiment persisted among most of the major indices, which were seen thriving in the green during the month. So with that, we conclude the monthly recap for December 2023 and stay tuned for more updates in the future. Thank you.